Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gorecom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives after they put out important news. With us today, happy to have him back, Infinity Stone Ventures. You're going to love the genesis of that name. Trades in Canada under the stock symbol GEMS, G-E-M-S, for our friends in the US, TLOOF, and for our friends in Europe on Frankfurt under B2I0. With us, Zane Callion, CEO and Director, Michael Townsend, Director. As the name kind of implies already, look, we all know the story that the incredible demand for electric vehicles in this coming decade, imminently this coming decade, quite frankly, for decades beyond that, is going to drive the demand for many critical energy metals out there. Enter Infinity Stone Ventures, who's on a mission and more than just lip service to be a diversified supplier for the critical energy metals being used in the clean energy revolution. How are they doing that? A diversified portfolio of lithium, copper, graphite, and more in Ontario and Quebec. For example, their Pac South and Pac Southeast claims are 170 kilometers north of Red Lake, adjacent to Frontier Lithium's Pac Lithium project. So great real estate there. Their Rockstone Graphite project is just 45 kilometers west of Thunder Bay. Excellent access to roads, railways, shipping port. And historic work there has already shown things like the 24-meter interval with a value of 25% graphitic carbon. Their Zen Woolbury copper, cobalt, platinum, palladium project is right in Quebec. Again, incredible infrastructure, a lot of historical work done, which is what we really like. And the company today last week, has announced their third Pegmatite project. They entered into an option agreement to acquire the Galaxy Pegmatite project in Quebec. Let's talk about that. Gents, you've been really busy. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, George, for having us. I just wanted to mention we should any day be uplisted onto the OTCBB under the symbol GEMS. So we've been waiting for that for about a year, and I think we've jumped through all the hoops and should be any minute. So,
well, they'd be lucky to have you because you guys are just tearing it up. I mean, it's been a summer where a lot of small cap companies are kind of wallowing a little bit, but you guys have been unbelievably busy. First, let's talk about this. This is your third Pegmatite project. So for everybody at home, just ballpark, layman, what is Pegmatite and why does it seem to be so important to you guys?
Yeah, Zane, do you mind if I take that one?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, the pegmatites have become the host rock of preference for the battery energy, the electric vehicle market. I can't exactly remember why, but it's preferred more than the brine. I guess it's the oxidization or something like this. But it's you can't believe that in Australia they sort of born the pegmatite industry, and they're selling pegmatite, just concentrating it. They're taking it out of the rock. They're concentrating it to about 6% lithium, which generally, if it's a 1% deposit, it's just a 6x concentration. And then they're selling that raw concentrate to China. They have an auction system in Australia, and it's just, I think it started the first ton sold for maybe $1,000. It's all the way up to they set a record again last week, $7,000 a ton for just a concentrate. So taking some soft pegmatites, a fairly soft rock out of the ground, put it in a crusher, concentrating it, taking out, a lot of the junk, heavier junk, and just selling that concentrate for $7,000 a ton. I mean, they're printing money. So everyone's going after these pegmatites now, and we have lots of them in Canada, especially Quebec and Ontario. I guess the most famous one would be that FL Frontier Lithium, where we started our company, where we have some mapped pegmatites right next door. And then, of course, in Quebec, you have Patriot Battery Metals that I was involved with over the years, and they've really killed it lately. Stock's been to $4; it's back to 2.5. But
it's real.
So we decided that we needed some pegmatites too. And with our experience in Quebec, we're working with some people that live in Montreal and operate in that mining community. We've been able to find some deposits, we hope we're deposits, some projects that are a lot closer to infrastructure, i.e. highways, rail, rivers, ports, smelters. So we're not out in the sticks, which
you got the Trans Canada coming right through
the thing, right through the middle of it. Yeah. So that's cost wise, I mean, your guys are driving up there, they're going to work, and then they drive home at night. You don't have to build a camp, you don't have to fly helicopters, you don't have to feed them. It's a game changer. So I don't know what I missed there. Maybe Zane will follow up what I missed.
Actually, I got a follow-up question for you on that. So that was a great description, but this is a pretty sizable. What I love about the acquisition you guys have made so far, you kind of touched on there, Michael, is A, infrastructure, B, they've all had great historical work done them already. So it's not like this isn't Georgia's Lithium company where I'm acquiring 100 acres in Greece and hoping I can find something. You've got great historic. What is about this project, just like the other projects, Zane? What is about this project that you guys really liked? What really piqued
Yeah,
you?
so the historical work, I guess there was a report from the 1950s that had identified 30 pegmatites on this Galaxy project. And as Michael said, I think being in Quebec was really important to us, being closer to infrastructure. It's very close to our Zen Warbury project, maybe 20 kilometers west. But what was really important, I think, was that it had this host rock that we were looking for, these LCT style pegmatites that had been identified. 30 pegmatites in itself is a great opportunity. And I think just what the host rock has looked like, the picture that we put in our press release last week was very well received, and we're actively, we have a couple things in the works to get some of that rock processed, 150 kilogram sample that we're hopefully going to get processed in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I think it's probably one of the most exciting projects that we do have right now.
This picture that you guys put out with it, to me, just looks like, a rock at the end of the day. But people who know better seem to be a little excited about the picture. What kind of feedback have you guys gotten just from that picture?
A lot. We have 26,000 views on LinkedIn.
Twitter. And LinkedIn,
Twitter or LinkedIn? I think it was LinkedIn.
Even better.
Including, we have a call. Our next call this morning is with a group out of Boston that I guess they do hydrometallurgical work, and they I guess they've got a client that's making extraction equipment, and they need pegmatite in order to tune their equipment. So they've asked us to supply them with 150 kilograms of pegmatite from our Galaxy project. And in turn, they will give us all the parameters of what it takes to extract the lithium in exchange for the lithium. So as Zane was saying earlier, it's generally to do met work like that could be from $150,000 to $300,000. So we're getting it for free. So that's a huge win for us. So that was—
How big of an advantage is that, guys? Just the amount of intel you're going to get out of that. How big of an advantage is that?
Yeah, massively accelerates our time frame on being able to figure out the feasibility or an economic value of the deposit, for sure.
Yeah, metallurgy is generally the most important thing. You got to be able to get the minerals out of the rocks.
If it happens, what's the timeline, guys? Ballpark what for shareholders to expect, a good amount of, for you guys to announce feedback as to, the results of that.
Well, again, I mean, we received a scoping study or scope of work study from them, but we have our call at 10 o'clock this morning. So, right. I just thumb suck. It's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, not a lot of time really in the big scheme of things, especially dead summer. And you were saying earlier how that we've been super busy. We have been putting out, 2 news releases a week, and we could even put out more if we could write them fast enough. But our stock has held in. Our stock hasn't rallied during this, I guess, correction.
Holding in is a rally in this environment.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're still right around where we've been. The sort of high teens, 20 cents. I would say the VWAP is probably 20 cents the last 3 months. So we're happy about that. We've got a lot more news in the pipeline. We've got work. I guess, Zane, you want to tell them about what we're doing over at the Buddha Pegmatite? We have work going on there as well.
Yeah, so on our Ontario pegmatite project, the one near Thunder Bay, the Buddha project, we've had people on the ground for the past 2 weeks, just kind of confirming the historical work that was done there before, doing some more mapping, some trenching, and then with the intention that we will do some drilling in the fall. We've sent a bunch of samples out for assay at the end of last week. So we'll get those back in the next couple of weeks, and we hope to kind of confirm that historical work and that 210 ppm lithium, and then just continue down the road, I guess, with the ultimate goal of doing some implementing some serious drilling in the fall.
Michael, the name Infinity Stone Ventures, we talked about that last interview, getting all the stones. How close are you to achieving that goal? How many stones away are you?
Well, we'll go through it right now. I mean, I think we're pretty close if we're not already there. But so we've got the cobalt and the copper from the Zen Warberry, where we haven't talked about that yet. But we've collected 1,000 samples off that project. Assays are starting to come in. We've only got about 6 assays, but 3 of the 6 are 50%. We're 1.5% copper. We got very, very high grade cobalt, especially on surface. So we're waiting for the rest of those assays to come in. It's a geochem, 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer geochem grid that we did. Every 25 meters, we took a sample. So we've got the copper, cobalt there. We've got the lithium on the pegmatites. We have the graphite in Thunder Bay. So that's 4. And then what are the other 2 that we're looking for? I guess manganese is another stone that we need. And
so I got to go out there and look for any potential manganese projects and just just buy them up, knowing that you guys are probably going to come looking for, right? And that's a quick buck that way.
A lot of these metals have corrected as well. I mean, not lithium, but nickels. Oh, nickels, the 6th stone.
Yeah.
Nickels corrected pretty hard. Copper's corrected pretty hard. But lithium has not moved. It's still $70,000 a ton. And then manganese has actually moved up in the last 6 weeks or something, whereas everything else is corrected. So we're pretty excited about getting another manganese stone added to the collection. And there is some known manganese in Quebec, past producers, high grade. So we're doing what we can to tie that up.
What's the game plan, gents? Because devil's advocate, you might have someone from the outside saying, you've got all these projects, you got them all running at the same time. It's hard to do that, and do it well. Not that you guys aren't great at it, but sooner or later, everyone has a capacity issue. What's the game plan? If everything goes kind of according to plan, not perfectly, not that never happens, but if everything goes according to plan, what does the next 6 and 12 months look like at GEMS?
Right. Well, I think we're going to spend, kind of around $100,000, give or take, on each project this year. Get it up to 43101 standards. We have 100% of every one of these properties, so we can get it to a peak point where we could joint venture them off. We could option them off. We could spin them off. GEMS could keep 20%, get all our money back, get some stock in the new company, and we'll just keep looking at them and we'll keep the best for ourselves. But and then depending on the commodity, on the Zen Warberry, I think because copper has gone soft here, I don't think we'll drill this year maybe, but we'll keep it. We'll have all the data. We'll have $100,000 spent. We'll get the 43101 done. So we'll pick our spots based on the quality of the project and the commodity outlook, near-term commodity outlook, because the market needs to know that something's sexy before they get excited.
So the great news is shareholders potentially can expect quicker returns off some of these rather than waiting years for all of them. And right. Then, as you get the quicker returns, that buys the time to really work on the 1 or 2 choice projects where you guys decide, okay, here are the 1 or 2 choice projects we want to keep for ourselves.
Right. Yeah. So we'll be able to pivot from whatever commodities, makes the most sense. I mean, that's the news. There's almost news every day on this EV or battery metals topics. I mean, especially in Ontario where they build cars and they're building battery plants, and they're talking about now building a lithium processing facility in
Thunder Bay. So those kind of things are like, well, okay, well, we've got a graphite mine, and this Buddha pegmatite is also within 50 kilometers of Thunder Bay on road. So obviously it would make sense to spend more money and more time on those. And then, depending on the grade, if the grades aren't there, then we move to the Galaxy, or, but the good news is we are very close to final manufacturing, with ESG and carbon, considerations. Yeah. You don't want to travel too far. You want the product. I mean, the Tesla has signed a lot of agreements with junior mining companies, including one called Sarah Resources, but their products coming all the way from Mozambique.
So it's like an 8,000-mile journey. And then to add insult to injury, the Mozambique, they had to shut the mine down because there was,
Security concerns. Yeah.
Security
And
concerns.
how much does supply chain problems around the world play right into you guys?
Yeah.
Because there going to be a lot of end users going to say, you know what? At least I want to be able to truck this in if I can, because I can't rely on traditional transport from all over the world. These guys are in Quebec and Ontario. So that's probably been a huge bonus that you guys hadn't, even though you had factored in location, that premium for the locations has probably skyrocketed in the last 12 months.
I would think so, because the cost of shipping, I mean, it can sometimes it's $500 a ton or whatever to ship, or $500 a whatever it is container to ship, and then it was $20,000 for a container. And I heard everyone complaining that I can't get stuff because I can't afford the container. So shipping prices are very volatile, and I just think being within 200, 300, 400 miles. A lot of our projects are right on the Great Lakes too, so it's super cheap to barge stuff from Thunder Bay to Detroit, or Thunder Bay to wherever in Ontario they need
then truck it the rest of the way. But guys, these projects out of GEM start to look a lot more attractive.
Yeah. No, yeah, we're looking pretty smart here, George. So
guys, I mean, usually, small cap companies are on once during the summer because everyone's kind of vacationing. They're kind of taking their foot off the pedal. Safe to say I'm going to have you guys back in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. It sounds like there's a lot more going on. The GEM story just kind of started to go.
There's a lot going on under the surface. I think, if you guys look at my insider trading report, you can see I'm buying stock every day. So I think that's pretty indicative. And that's not something that's just happened over the last week. That's been going on for a year. Even though I've only been an insider for 3 months, I probably bought, 1 million shares out of the market in the last 3 months.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Recently. So yeah, we're putting our money where our mouth is, George.
Yeah, and there's no better, and you don't see that very often, right, Michael? You and I have been around.
It's usually the other way around.
What's that?
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, everyone's selling, getting out, as fast as they can just to cash out, and not have much confidence. But seeing those insider trading records from you is a pretty big deal, guys. Look, congratulations on just getting to the Infinity Stone Ventures. There's a reason for that name. There's a method to the madness, and you guys are getting there.
Yeah,
I can't wait to have you back on when we talk about the last couple, securing those, and then maybe even getting a little fun with our creative as far as really demonstrating that.
Yeah, we've all the creative that we've hired, and we're going to obviously be doing some marketing in the US, and we just think that it's a great marketing name. There's Marvel Comics have been around for 40 years, so the Stones, I guess, have been around for almost as many. So people know it, and if you have control all the stones, you control the universe. So we'll control the universe of EVs.
Yeah, I got to admit, as a branding and marketing guy, I give you guys A+ on tying the name into exactly what the company's doing, which makes it really easy for shareholders not only to understand, but then to remember. And I think that's just a sign of the genius you guys have over there. Thanks for joining us, guys. I know we're going to have you back the next 2-3 weeks or so. So congratulations on this milestone, and then looking forward to the next one.
Great. Thanks, George. Thanks for having us.
For everybody at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast on Spotify, Google, Apple, your favorite podcast platform, to Infinity Stone Ventures, trades in Canada under GEMS. In the US, soon to be, you heard it from Michael earlier, GEMSF. And in Europe, B2, I never get this straight. Is it B210, I0? That's
and it's no zero, actually. It's B2I.
Oh, B2I. Okay, I don't even know why that's there. So thanks for clarifying that. B2I.
We'll get that one to GEMS too pretty soon. I don't know what GEMS in German is, but it'll be there soon.
I'm sure it means exactly the same. So to start your due diligence, guys, get to the profile page in the Agoracom, because look, there are multiple projects here with multiple stones, each of them having a little bit different use cases, different backgrounds, but all of them have that same common foundation, which is Ontario and Quebec, amazing infrastructure, and historical work already done on them to point the company in the right direction. Do your due diligence there, and then head over to the company's website to do your deep dive. And hopefully today you discovered your next amazing small cap critical energy metals company. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thanks, George.
Hey guys, this video is over. but don't forget to help your company by liking it and then leaving a comment below. And then don't forget to help yourself by subscribing to our channel so you don't ever miss another great Agoracom small cap video.